And good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Friday, May 23rd edition of Makers and Movers podcast. I'm your host, Todd. How are you doing today, folks? Today, we're going to talk about, is it still worth it? Is it still worth it to doing what we're doing? A lot of people have had some questions the last couple of weeks, especially with the way how tariffs have went back and forth. They're just not sure if things are worth it to do. They've seen a lot of decline in sales where things have dropped off at. And so I said, hey, it really comes down to what you're doing and how you're doing it and what we can do to make things better for us. And so we're going to talk, a little about that. How we can, stop that spiral and, redefine the success and respect our energy, and we can make some bold moves, and we can find our real community. So we're going to talk about that today. If it's your first time here or long time here, things I need from you: I need you to like and subscribe and share. That helps. Sharing really helps. It's free. Go do that. Affiliate links, use those. Free. Help out with it. And we'll talk more about what we got going on. But I'll also need your 5 things. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? So for us, I had like 20 things on my list yesterday. Some of the stuff isn't due until next week, next month. So it was here, how can we do it? And it was going through and refining that down. So things I need to get done today is I have an order of big heads that are needed for graduation, which is next Wednesday from places, which means they need them by Tuesday. So really, I've got 2 days to get stuff done because it is a holiday weekend. We will not be here on Monday. So keep that in mind when it comes to production, to get your stuff in. Otherwise, it's not going to go out till Tuesday. So I've got that. I've got somebody asked for some additions to a website, so we're doing that for it. Somebody else we're building a website for, so we are going over their info that they want on it. We've got some HTV that needs to be cut, and then work on some more marketing things, and we'll give you some updates across the board of what we're doing. I know we're shooting to have our webinar at the end of this month, which would be next Wednesday. I think it's going to get pushed back to either the 8th or that following Wednesday after that, because I got with our marketing company, getting everything set up, onboarding fees, what all comes in each package level, how we're doing that, because, it was all about systems. Same stuff we're using in ours, we want to be able to offer to it. So we're going to, put some pretty robust things in it. Remember, it takes money to spend money. Wait, you have to spend money to make money. It takes money to make money. You know how that plays out. The biggest thing is we can't be cheap. And that's something that I've learned, after spending thousands of dollars over the years, thousands in the last 6 months, thousands in the last couple months on different systems and things there that, hey, if we want to succeed, we do have to spend a little money on some things. And it all comes down to time. Like one of the things that when you sign up for our webinar, we're giving you you'll have access to all of June. So our marketing content vault. So everything that we're using, you're able to use too and make it your own. How much time is that worth to you? Not having to come up with your own ideas every day, every month. So that's included in it. So we're working through that. We also, marketing side, that part is there. Something that we are shooting to launch by the fall is we are putting together a cut sew program. Met with the people that we can help do that. U.S. apparel, so made here in the U.S., quick ass turnaround times. None of this 6 to 8 week crap. We're going to be looking at 2 to 3 weeks tops on things. It's not going to have everything that we want right off the bat. We're going to hit the ground running with what we have and then kind of add stuff over there, because I want to get into full uniform makings for everything. So partnering up and working on that project. And then there is another project that I can't even talk about that, is pretty big. So that one will be interesting how it plays out. And that one could, change generationally, right? Changes the way that we do part of our business with certain things. So a lot of irons in the fire that we are trying to keep going. Meanwhile, making sure Corey's getting everything that she needs for her business, making sure we're getting everything we need for our DTF side of it, which Memorial Day sale today through Monday. Use the code May25 because this is May 2025. Use that and you'll save 15% off of all DTF transfers, UV DTF transfers over on Fat Dad Print Co. We also have 9:30 today is our mentorship call. That's right, my mentorship call. So we got that going on. Next week, no show on Monday. Will be a show on Wednesday, and I'm pretty sure we can pull off the show on Friday because with that being our kids' last day of school, we're not leaving for Dax until after we get them. So we won't be up to Dax until the afternoon, which means the morning I can do a show. So that's what we got. That's everything in a nutshell. That's what's going on. Let's check in and see how people are doing. I want to know your 5. What are your 5 things? Oh, and then I need to know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather's like in the area. I'm Todd. How are you? We're in Illinois, and we're drinking a Fantasy Vibe. This thing's rock solid. It is the Fantasy Vibe Sparkling Mandarin Marshmallow, so it kind of tastes like a dreamsicle fluff. Fabulous. Love it, love it, love it. Even love it so much I tried to get down the wrong pipe. So so let's check in. Renee, good morning. Same here. We're on the way to 70. On the way to 70. Water in the bottle, coffee in the cup. 5. Press shirts, deliver orders. Artwork. Office cleanup and file. Let me my eyes water with that. Good morning from sunny Florida. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. Morning, Chuck. Morning, Renee. Jeff's checking in. Morning. Finally, right? Like we've had 5 or 6 days of just doom and gloom, it seems like. And so now it's starting to get the sun. Very nice. No drink yet. 5 things. Rinse and repeat. Track a boat. We need to track a boat to your new thing, right? Track a boat. It's weird when you can get on those trackers to see how much stuff's going on because there's like, whoa, you didn't realize that's many. The world's a big place. You don't realize how much traffic is in there. Do the plane one. The plane one's wild too. It scares the hell out of me to think that there's that many things in the sky above me. Morning, Jeff, for sure. Copy and paste. Sarah, good morning to you. 48 and sunny. Coffee in the cup. Very nice. Morning, Renee from Jeff. Hey, Sarah from Renee. Jerry, checking in with us. Morning, Renee, Todd, Chuck, Jeff, and Sarah. Hi, Grandma. Wow, nice, Jeff. Morning, Renee. So many boats, right? So many boats. Okay, I need to pull my stuff over here. I need to yank this around over here and then find it again because I think I might have lost it. Yep, there it is. Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Still trying to figure out new stuff, where stuff is, and go with it. So we're getting into it. We're getting into it. So here we go. If you're in our industry, chances are you've hit a wall. Orders have slowed down. Social media posts are flopping. You're exhausted, and the question starts to creep in. Is it even worth it anymore? And that moment isn't failure. It's a checkpoint, right? It's a sign that something just isn't working for you right now. So before you throw in the towel, let's take a breath. Let's reframe the burnout. And I feel like these 5 tips were designed to help us, step back, reassess, and rebuild the version of your business that feels right for where you are at today, not where you started at. So let's get into it. Tip 1, your feelings are loud, but not always right. Sound familiar? When your brain... or when you're burned out, your brain acts like a drama-loving tabloid editor, right? One quiet week becomes, I'm failing. This sucks. What's going on? One refund becomes, no one wants what I make. But feelings, while they're real, they're not always factual. Burnout filters everything through doom-colored glasses. Now clarity often comes from stepping outside that noise. Many of us forget to pause and check what's actually happening. Because when you're tired, everything feels way worse than it is. Your shop might not even be broken. You just might need some sleep, some food, or perspective. So, someone might feel like that nobody is buying anymore. They check their stats and say that traffic was up. Just haven't launched anything in a while. Okay, so we've got traffic coming in. We haven't launched anything. We're not showing them anything new to buy. Another one, wants to make sure they were sure that their audience had just disappeared. Turns out, hey, the auto replies that they had on, sending a broken link. So the interest was there. It just wasn't reaching back to them. So to get through this is what we need to do. Write down 3 positive truths about your business. Use real numbers, real facts, and real feedback. And then keep that list visible. So when that spiral starts, because we know it will, you can look at it and read it out loud. Okay? Next up, we're going to redefine what worth it means. And we're going to do that right now, right? What does that mean right now for it? The definition of worth it isn't permanent. It evolves. It changes over time. What once meant side hustle income might now mean mental peace, right? If you're still chasing an old goal that no longer serves you, it's no wonder things feel off with it. You may have started this business to escape that 9 to 5, and now you want it to support your family and still let you have the weekends off. Or maybe you thought you wanted growth until growth meant chaos. It did. I wanted the storefront. I wanted it all. I wanted everything with it. And the stress that came along with that was a lot to deal with. It made me not love my business anymore. COVID was a great thing that happened because it allowed us the reason to move things back to the house. And I felt such a weight lifted off of me when that happened. So checking in with your current version of success is what's going to keep burnout from becoming a permanent resident for you. One maker, may have chose to chase orders constantly, right? They later realized that their dream was that their real dream was consistency. So instead of going after everything, they just went, hey, what's the minimum order values and what's the clear lead times for it? I want to know that I'm getting value in this amount of time for it. So most thought scaling meant that you had to sell everywhere. And now they just sell in one place, one launch a month, and that's it. So they make the same revenue with less stress. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to write this sentence. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go put it in the chat so that you have it and you can write this in here. And I want you to finish this 5 times. And I want you to post it near your workspace. I want you to post it online if you feel so inclined. We got to let these statements guide our next decisions. And what is that? My business is worth it when. And then finish that 5 times. Your business is worth it when 5 times. That we're going to go with that. I'm going to copy that, put it in here. So that way you have it in here. And before we move on, number 3, let's check in and see. Hi, Jerry from Renee. Jeff says, I work for airlines. Used to the plane one. Used it at the airport. Oh, yeah. So now think about that. Planes, land, sea, and air. Could you imagine if they did a car one? It would just be a solid blob, right? Unless you're in Montana, because nobody lives there, apparently. Linda, currently 77, on the way to 100 in Central Texas. Woo! Hi, all. And Jerry says, so true. Negativity runs amok. It does. I think everybody has that and goes through it at least once. In my instance, it could be once a day, once a week. Morning, Linda from Renee. Hi, Linda from Jerry. Sarah's 5 things. Farmers markets, updates. Finish putting the shop back together since expansion. Finish figuring out Corel debacle. Prep for second interview with potential new hire. And purchasing. Corel. I went through it. I told you. You just got to just get it. You just got to get it. Sarah, what happened with Corel? She's just getting a new computer and putting things in there. Linda, will we see you next week? So who all are we going to see next Friday and Saturday at DAX? We will be up later on in the day on Friday, but we will be there. Who else is going to be there? I know a lot of people are not going this year because of the venue change, because of some of the education they didn't feel was there for it. Some of the vendors they didn't really feel. And there's no real mention if there's an an after hours party like there had been in past years. Remember, new owners took it on, new changes were made. So I don't know. We're going because, we said we're going to go. There's people that we want to meet, see, talk to. There's projects that we're working on with people. So it gives us an opportunity to talk to those on it, but I'm not sure. We'll see how it all turns out and goes. Linda says, I haven't ever been to DAX. We'll see you. This will be a first time for us all because it is a new venue, new owners, new vibe. We'll see how it all plays out and we can go from there. All right. Number 3, time isn't the same as capacity, because It's easy to overbook yourself when you're just looking at hours on a calendar, but time does not tell this whole story. The capacity is going to include energy and focus and the emotional headspace and even how your body's feeling that day. What makers ignore, or when we ignore capacity, burnout shows up fast. Like here, you know, I'm going to give an example before an example. We're going into holiday weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. We've had doom and gloom weather for it feels like the last week and a half. This morning, it is sunny out. It is gorgeous. There's only one project on my list that is must get done today. The other ones, they might get done as the day goes. And I might take some time and I might go on a golf cart ride. I don't know what I might do. I might do, Corey's on a day trip. She'll be back here later this afternoon. She's probably back early afternoon. She went with the girlfriends this morning. And so I just might take some me time, go on a nice little golf cart ride, maybe run down to the boat launch and, have a pizza and a beer down there. I don't know. But man, it's tough to work when I look at this and say, hey, I've only got one real important, super important project that needs to get done today. After that, I might play. The space that we fall into is we might technically have 3 hours to make an order, right? But if we're not feeling it, if your kid's sick like all night last night, you've had a long week, you're mentally fried, the block of time is useless, right? We have to protect our capacity because it's about, that realistic self-awareness. It's not laziness. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't run a heat press on zero sleep. Offside, upside down, backwards, right? So there's times, that we've talked to different people, and here's some things of it. We talked to somebody, and they had these big hopes of having this huge sale, but they know they work hard all week, and they get tired by the end of the week. So they launched it, they got overwhelmed, and they missed half the follow-ups for it because they weren't ready for it. They weren't in the right headspace to launch that for it yet. And then so when we were going through this, we found out that they found that they have open time during the day, but they work best at night. So they restructured that task list to match the focus levels, not the clock. Pretty simple. So here's what you can do. As we go through this, rate your energy and focus every day for a week on a 1 scale, right? Rate your energy and focus. So, how pumped are you? How focused are you? And, 1 scale every day. And at the end of the week, hey, is there a way to adjust your schedule to match your top performance windows? And it's okay to block off those low energy times. Friday can be low energy for me. Friday is typically a day we don't schedule major production. We use it for meetings. We use it for catch up because if I want to be done at noon on Friday, I'm going to be done noon on Friday. If I need to get stuff done, I need to get stuff done. But I want to allow myself that opportunity to have that time if it's there for it. Now, so we get on to 4. This is an important one because one bold shift can change everything for you. It doesn't take a whole lot to do. When things feel broken, the temptation is to do everything. New logo, new products, change prices, run a sale, redo the whole website, send out email blasts, send out text blasts. This leads to more chaos. 1000% leads to more chaos. So instead of chasing, tiny stuff across everything, what if you just did one bold, clear decision and you move forward, right? That's it. Sometimes you need to raise prices. Oftentimes you need to raise prices. Sometimes you need to cut product lines. Oftentimes you need to cut product lines. Maybe it's stop doing that one-off custom order. Yeah. These moves are scary, but they're often what clears the fog, right? A bold shift can give you clarity. It can give you simplicity. And most importantly, it can give you breathing room. Okay. And you're not stuck to it. You can always change again later. And as somebody who dropped all their custom work and they switched to ready to ship products only. And what does that mean is here, they're all template based. Everything was ready to go. They didn't have to do much designing on anything. They were terrified. And then within a couple of weeks, they realized, I'm not stressed out anymore. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm falling back in love with my business. Yeah. Another one that we talked to in our mentorship community. This is in my mastermind group. They raised their prices, their base price by 30% this year. He said, hey, we, in order to stay in business, this is what we need to do. And yeah, they lost a few buyers, but they made more money with fewer orders and enjoyed working again. All right. So for this step, what we need to do is just identify one part of your business that causes you the most stress. And then ask yourself, what would happen if I did the exact opposite of what I've been doing there? Do it. Try it. Try one thing. Try it out for 30 days. What happens? You can always go back. But if it's not working and it's causing this, what can we do? So before we go to 5, let's check in. Let's check in and see what there. I did go subscription. I did because there's something in the works that I most likely will need the subscription for going forward. So I just went ahead and did the subscription for it. Yeah, because with Corel, you can either buy the outright one for $400, or you can do the monthly subscription for $200, not a month, for $200 a year, whatever it comes out to. So I went that one yet. I've yet to go to anything. You should, Jeff. We should find something for you to go to. We will not be there for the first time since we started biz. So sad, Sarah. So sad. Jerry says, your sentence could apply to so many things. My kids are worth it when. Absolutely. You could use that as content creation right there. 1000%, Jerry. Mental health is imperative. Yes, it is the most important, Renee. Sarah, I would buy download instead of paying every year. That's just me. What did you do? And I went subscription because, like I said, some of the stuff that we're doing on the back end, there is, on the DTF side of things, there is a new builder coming. It's going to be available for UV DTF. It's going to be available for DTF. It is an express builder, so you can just put in the size of and you can upload your image, say whatever size you need to be, the quantity, and it just does it for you, and it prints it out. It's all going to be priced off linear inches, so you don't have to get a set number of feet for gang sheet. So that's something that's in the works for it. So that should be here in the next few weeks. We're testing it out now with a few other people, and I think we're getting the bugs worked out of it. Jerry says, Jeff, you need to get out of Northern Kentucky. Go to Ohio on occasion. See, he does. That's weak. Listen to Jerry, just calling people out. Sarah says, I just finalized subscription. It is online and downloaded. That's right, because there's a whole online thing that you can do with it, and I haven't checked into that, so I need to see what exactly that is. All right, numero 5, community over comparison. All right, because I will tell you this, comparison is the killer of momentum. Scrolling Instagram, let's be real. I am one of these people, and if you're one of these people, let me know in the comments. Are you one of these people in there? Scrolling through Instagram, you're scrolling through Facebook, you're scrolling through TikTok, and you're seeing these other makers just absolutely crushing it, right? Wow, we're barely holding it together. Feels like motivation, right? Then it starts to make you feel worse. You're like, oh, they're crushing it, and I suck, right? What actually helps with this? Hey, real conversations with us, real conversation with people who understand what you're going through. The best growth happens inside of communities, and whether that's a group chat with other sellers, a monthly meetup, our mentorship program, or even if it's just, other people that you talk to on Facebook, makers who keep it real and they don't give you the runaround of stuff. You need connection more than curated content, right? You do not have to do this alone. Let me tell you that again. You do not have to do this alone. Okay. When we were going through stuff, and I've talked to a few people about this, one of the people I talked to, they said they found a co-working Zoom, and with that, they work alongside others a couple times a week, and they feel way less isolated and way more accountable. They just get together a couple hours a week. Hey, I'm working on this. I'm doing this. How's it going? Chit chat while things are going in the background. Hold everybody accountable for it. We have Work on Your Business Wednesday that we do in our mentorship community, where that is a Zoom room open all day. So that way they can do it. So once a week, you can get there for that. And a lot of times you can partner with other people that are kind of in the same thing. And you can see, hey, can we help each other out? Is there a way to, swap some tips? Is there a way that you help me and I can help you? Is there things I can help you in your booth with? There's things that you can help me with. Is there ideas that we can share? Is there wins that we can share? Can we help each other out? So, that buddy business partner is there in your arm to help each of you get through it. Both of you are helping each other with it. So, hey, maybe we can just, start our own community and talk with somebody. So, what can you do with this? Message one maker in the next week. It can be simple. Just say, hey, just wanted to say that I really admire your work. If you ever want to chat or swap ideas, I'd love to connect. Pretty simple. You never know where this could lead. So as we wrap all of this up, if you're asking yourself, is this still worth it? This doesn't mean you're done. It just means that you're smart enough to check in. A business should serve you, not drain you. And sometimes all it takes is just a pause, a plan, and a couple of bold moves to get you back on track. So, recap. You're going to change our feelings and then change the facts. That's one. We're going to redefine worth it based on our current season, right? We're going to match our task to our energy, not just the clock. We're going to make one bold change instead of just spinning our wheels. And we're going to stop scrolling and start connecting with real makers. Because I'm telling you this, you are not alone. You are not behind. And you are absolutely allowed to rebuild this thing in a way that feels better for you. That's what I got for you today. Questions, comments, concerns as we wrap this up. Next week, no show on Monday. Office is closed on Monday. No printing will be happening on Monday. So keep that in mind. If you're on an email list, you should be getting those. You should get other stuff throughout this weekend. We've got a lot of irons in the fire. Next Friday, DAX. So we will be going to that. We will have a show on Wednesday because typically we do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And you guys help me by sharing and caring in that. Is there anything there that we got there? And let's see. Yep, that is cool on the online in there. I got to look more into what the online part says. Jerry, have to rest Jeff so he stays engaged and knows I care about him. Huge heart. Oh, Jerry, I think you just want to bully me. I mean, see, look, I likes you. Look at this. You're not alone. I'm here with you. Look at that. The good old days when you were at the mall. I don't know, those are good old days, but it was definitely a fun time. When we look back, a lot has happened since then. I got a new laptop, and the one that I was using, I bought I got this on the way to Indianapolis that weekend that changed everything. What was that, 2016, 2017? That's when we kind of said, hey, we're going to give it a go at this full time. You remember that? Yeah. And so the laptop was that old, and I think that's why I kept holding on to it, because that was like the first purchase for business. We're going to do that. And that was the weekend that we went all in and bought the new press and bought the new cutter and spent, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000 at the show on different things. And so it was sad to say, hey, this laptop just isn't working anymore, and got a new one. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? But it's been a long time. Let's see. Barb, start the party. Start the party. Is that what that's supposed to be? Barb's gonna watch the replay. And sorry, Jeff. Next Ohio visit, we need to meet up. We need to meet for a meetup. That would be good for it. Good morning, Azar. How are you doing? What are you working on today? Do you got a 5 things list? Renee, I remember sitting at the round table lobby area talking to you about it all. Yeah, it was. That's we're just going to do it. And I felt that weight lifted off me, and, we went all in on it. And I don't even know hundreds of thousands of dollars, it feels like, since then, equipment costs $25,000. Now, to think back, you're going to buy a printer that's $25,000. Oh, you're going to buy a Spangle machine that's $20,000. Oh, you're going to buy a wide format printer that's $20,000. Oh, you're going to buy this. Oh, you're going to invest $20,000. Everything seemed to be like $20,000. Every bill seemed to be like $20,000. You're going to invest in the store, and you're going to do all these things to it, and it's not going to be yours. So just remember that when you're doing it. Yeah, you need to buy all this inventory for it. Yeah. Yeah. That we did, and no scooter rides. That was a fun show, though. That was a really fun show. Okay, with that, we're going to wrap things up here. We have our mentorship call. That is starting at 9:30. If you want more information about that, check below. Yes, it says 40 down in the links because eventually it's switching over to that. So I'm prepping people now. But if you get in before then, it's only $20, I think, or 25, 20 or 25, whatever it is. If you are in that, you're locked into legacy pricing. When stuff starts switching over to the new platform and it's at 40, you'll be in at that. So get in now so you can join that. That's starting in there. Everybody have a happy and safe Memorial Day weekend. I want to see your grilling pictures. Like, we're going through of what we're going to do. I think I'm going to try and use all of the grills this weekend. I'm going to try and use the pellet smoker. I'm going to use the gravity fed smoker. I'm going to use the Blackstone. I'm going to use the gas grill. I'm going to use the Komodo grill. I think I'm going to shoot to use all 5 of them. The pellet grill, it becomes a warming oven for it, but I think I'm going to try and use all 5 of them this weekend, maybe all at once. Got to prep for summertime, baby, because it's that time. All right. You guys have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. I'd love to hear your comments below. So if your team replay, put it down there. Let me know what you think. If you like things, make sure to let me know in the comments. If there's other things you want to talk about and learn more about, let me know. And I will tell you that there's a lot of things that are going to happen here in the second half. Well, we're not to the second half, but we're getting there, of 2025. And it's going to be an amazing ride. And I cannot wait for you guys to come along with it, because I think if we do the plan right and some of it goes through, I am going to literally make jaws drop with this. Yeah. And we got some good partners along the way to help us. We've got good partners in marketing. We've got good partners in building businesses plans together. Big partners in helping us with advancement of that cut and sew. I'm super excited for how that is. And we're working through patterns and timelines and simple apps to do. Oh, I'm loving them. I'm falling in love with it all over again. So until next time, you guys have an amazing weekend. Peace, love, press on. We'll see you.